Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the things that I wish I would have known about birth, but I didn't. Getting ready with my sisters is like one of my top favorite things. So this is kind of like a little sister chat here, if you know what I mean. The thing that I did not expect was the reaction of my husband.
I'm such a wimp.
He didn't know how to help me. Like, I'm sitting here having this strong contraction and he would come up and like rub my head like this. I was like, stop. So looking back, I kind of wish I would have had a conversation with him about what I want him to do. And it's hard to know if it is your first baby, what you want your husband to do. A very important part with your husband is like giving him a specific job. Like, okay, when I have a contraction, I need you to push here on my back, or I need you to rub my feet in between the contractions. So with my first pregnancy, my water did not break on its own. So I've actually had to get my water broken 2 times. And the first time I got it done, it was fine. They stick their long freaking crochet hook up your hoo-ha and they pop your sack. But with Maya, I went in and I got induced, and so my experience was much different because I don't think my body was like quite ready to give birth. And he was like, okay, I'm just gonna stick this up there and it's just like totally gonna break like really fast. So it was like, okay, great, no big deal.
As much as you can.
Okay.
You're doing good,
Just
honey.
pop it.
Bring this.
Well, no. Okay, he was up there for 5 minutes, and instead of just putting like this much of the crochet hook up me, he had the whole entire crochet hook up inside of me. Like, I don't even know where it went because I have a very short torso. Like, I'm surprised it wasn't like going up into my heart or something. It was insane and it hurt like heck. If you can, get your epidural before you get your water broken. With Talmage, I actually thought my water had broken, so I went in and got checked, and I didn't realize this, but they actually have to put one of those clamps up inside of you if you go in early to see if your water has broken, and they have to do a swab. So it's pretty much like getting a vaginal exam all over again. And if I would have known that, like, I would not have gone in unless I like really knew that my water broke. If you've ever had a vaginal exam, you know what those clamps are. Okay, another thing that people talk about but don't really like to talk about is pooping during childbirth. And I actually don't know if I did, but it is 100% normal and the doctors are totally used to it from what I have heard. So you don't need to be embarrassed, but it's definitely like a really uncomfortable thing to think about, right? I remember trying, like, the doctor told me to push, but like I didn't want to push very hard because I didn't want to poop. And eventually you're like, okay, let's get this baby out, and so you just like push as hard as you can. Another thing I didn't realize is like how amazing that moment of holding your baby is. It is unreal how like in love you are with your baby. At least that's how it was for me. I know it's different for everyone. Some advice someone gave me is when your baby comes out, look at your husband and see the expression on his face as well, because watching your husband become a father is just as amazing as you becoming a mother. The look of awe and just like sheer appreciation for you and just the miracle of this baby on your husband's face is just amazing. Look at him.
Fall right off. It's interesting.
Oh wow.
That's right where the cord is coming. Sure, that's what you do. It's real hard.
So you think that came attached?
Okay, so now let's talk about afterward. So I guess that the hospital charges you for every single little pill that you take from them. Any sort of medication, but I guess that it's like way more expensive coming from the hospital. So I've heard of people taking their own ibuprofens and stuff like that to the hospital just so that they don't have to pay for it. Now I think that some hospitals allow that and some do not. So you might have to check. But I thought that was really interesting. Something that my doctors have both done in the past is as soon as I have my baby, they offer stool softeners. And I remember with Talmadge, I was like, I don't really need them. As soon as you can, start drinking plum juice. Like with Maya, right after I had her, I ordered plum juice with every single meal because you guys, you are like a shredded hamburger down there. Everything hurts so bad. And the first time you go number 2, it literally feels like you are giving birth again. It's just very uncomfortable. So make sure you're taking your stool softener and eating lots of fiber and all that good stuff. Okay, this is something that really caught me off guard after I had Talmadge. Was as soon as I was done having him, it was like maybe 30 minutes or something, they wanted me to like go pee. And I'm sure there's a medical reason for this. I remember feeling so like my dignity was gone because I had these 2 nurses in the bathroom with me and they wanted to watch me go pee. And I was just like, I'm a shy peer. But they were sitting there wanting me to go pee with them in the room, and then when I was done they were wanting to spray water up my hoo-ha. And I just remember feeling like, do I have any dignity left? I don't know. I don't know if nurses really have to do that because that didn't happen with Maya. Maybe they were just nervous because I was a first-time mom, so they were wanting to show me like how to put the pad on and like the tucks and everything like that. That leads me to my next thing. Just load up on those tucks and those pads. I actually really liked using the hospital underwear because if you leak on them, you just throw them in the trash. So I actually asked for extra in the hospital and they gave me some, and they're my favorite. At least for like the first 4 to 5 days, and then I would like just wear normal underwear. Okay, so after you have your baby, you're gonna spend a couple days in the NICU or in the hospital. And the nurses will offer to take your baby for you. And with Talmadge, I almost felt like I was like a bad mom if I did that, because I was like, no, he's my baby, I should be able to take care of him. So most of the night I just kept Talmadge with me, but looking back, I wish I would have let the nurses take the baby so I could get a really good rest. Okay, now let's talk about going home. So funny story, when me and Brayden took Talmadge home for the first time, I don't know why the nurses didn't catch this, but we forgot to buckle him up all the way. We only did the top buckle, we forgot to do the bottom buckle. So I don't think we even like noticed this for like a year after. Luckily we did figure out how to buckle up our baby properly, but it took a while for us to realize that we did that. And then I just remember Brayden driving so slow. You know, a lot of people talk about how they feel so bad about their body after they give birth. Oh, my body is gone. You are a changed person forever in every single way. Like, becoming a mother is one of the most monumental moments in your life. I didn't feel bad about my body after I had Talmadge. In fact, I had never felt so empowered about another thing in my whole entire life, because I think as little girls and as women, we fear the day that we have to give birth. After I gave birth and I realized how special my little guy was, I realized that that was like the most amazing thing that I had ever done. And seeing my body go back to like shrinking down was actually really, really cool to watch. And of course I still had to work at like losing baby weight and everything. I think like 2 or 3 weeks after you have a baby and your uterus has gone down all the way, but your stomach still feels big and flabby, I think that's really hard, but just know that you are beautiful in so many ways, and your body is amazing, and you just need to be patient. And speaking of changes after you have a baby, I noticed a huge change in my behaviors, especially about 3 months postpartum. Up until that point, I was kind of just, I think I had some baby blues, but I didn't think I had postpartum depression. Like, I think that I thought that I just was the lucky one and was able to like not have to deal with that. But like 3 or 4 months hit and I started to be so irritable. Like every little thing that Brayden would do would like drive me crazy. I was like OCD about things. I always felt like people, like I had someone behind my back ready to scare me. I felt anxious. I felt like no one liked me, like I was doing things wrong, like I was gonna hurt my baby. I have a whole video on postpartum depression if you want to check that out after this. I will link it at the end. I just thought this was like the new me because everyone says you're a different person after you have a mom, and I thought that's what came with it, is like feeling like you're absolutely crazy. But it turns out I had a bad case of postpartum depression. So just be aware of that, and if you can, talk to your spouse or a loved one and get help as soon as you can. I wish I went a couple months without talking to anyone, and I wish that I would have just reached out. Okay, you guys, that is it for today's video, what I wish I would have known about childbirth. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out my postpartum depression video. I think it would be really great for all you new moms, especially going into this new phase of life and just being aware of what postpartum depression looks like. We will see you guys next time. Bye!